Have you ever wondered why finding inner peace seems so difficult? Why, even in quiet moments, your mind keeps bombarding you with doubts, fears, and worries? This is the eternal battle between the ego and the soul, and it's happening inside you right now. The ego is loud. It's constantly chasing control, validation, and external things. But the soul, it speaks softly, saying exactly what you need to hear. The problem is that we're so caught up in the ego's noise that we ignore our true essence. Here's the truth. This duality is part of being human. Both the ego and the soul play roles in our spiritual evolution, but they need balance. The challenge lies in learning to give more space to the soul's voice. In today's video, I'll show you how to turn the tide. You'll understand how to distinguish between these two voices and learn practical tools to quiet your mind. Listen to your intuition and reconnect with who you truly are. If this is the answer you've been searching for, stay with me until the end and bring your energy here by subscribing to the Raising Frequencies channel. Let's walk this awakening journey together. What is the ego? First, let's understand what the ego is. The ego is that part of our mind that tries to define who we are based on what's outside of us. It's the self that seeks approval, wants to be right, and tries to control everything around it. It's built from experiences, beliefs, and external influences that shape our identity throughout life. The ego isn't inherently bad. It emerged as a way to protect us. But when it takes over, it can trap us. We become overly identified with it, living driven by fear, comparison, and a constant need for validation. This creates a cycle of suffering that disconnects us from our true essence. Recognizing the ego is the first step toward freedom. What is the soul? And the soul, what is it? Unlike the ego, the soul doesn't need to prove anything. It's the purest part of you, the one that knows what truly matters. The soul is silent but profoundly wise. It connects with love, compassion, creativity, and intuition. It's through the soul that we feel that deep peace in moments of silence or contemplation. It's that voice guiding you when everything feels confusing, that sense that something greater and more truthful is waiting for you. The soul often communicates through sensations, a calm heart, a flash of intuition, or even moments of synchronicity that feel too perfect to be mere coincidence. But here's the challenge. The ego makes so much noise that we end up ignoring this connection. So how can we begin to hear the soul? That's what we'll explore next. How to identify the voice of the ego and the soul. The first step is to learn how to distinguish between the voices of the ego and the soul. The ego often sounds like, "You're not good enough. What if it goes wrong?" Or "You need more to be happy." It's critical, anxious, and full of fear. The soul, on the other hand, speaks differently. It encourages you with phrases like, "Trust the process. You already have everything you need within you, and the answer is in the silence." It's a calmer voice that inspires trust and acceptance. Start observing your thoughts and ask yourself, is this coming from fear or love? Is this the ego or the soul? Practice this awareness, and over time, discerning these voices will become second nature. Tools to quiet the ego and hear the soul. Now that you know how to identify these voices, let's learn how to give the soul more space. Here are some practical tools that can help. Meditation. Set aside 10 minutes a day to sit in silence and just observe your thoughts. This helps slow the mind and open space for intuition. Journaling. Write about how you're feeling unfiltered. Often, your answers come as you organize your thoughts on paper. Conscious breathing. Whenever you feel the ego taking over, pause and take a few deep breaths. This brings you back to the present moment. Affirmations. Create phrases like, "I am guided by my inner wisdom," to remind yourself of your soul's presence. Connecting with nature. Spend more time outdoors without distractions. Nature's energy balances your inner self. Choose one of these practices to start with, and you'll notice the difference. overcoming the challenges of the process. Of course, reconnecting with the soul isn't easy. The ego won't give up without a fight. It'll try to distract you, fill you with doubt, and pull you back into old patterns. But here's the good news: every step counts. Even when it feels hard, you're evolving. Celebrate the small victories. Each moment of awareness is progress. Be patient with yourself and never give up. You're learning to live in a more authentic and connected way, and that's powerful. The benefits of listening to the soul. When you start listening to your soul, everything changes. You feel more peace, more clarity, more confidence in yourself. Decisions become easier because you know you're following the right path. Life stops being a constant struggle and becomes a dance. You realize you don't need to control everything because you trust the natural flow of things. That's true freedom. And as you deepen this connection, you'll find your relationships transforming too, filled with more empathy and authenticity. So what did you think? Today, you understood the difference between the ego and the soul, how to quiet the mind, and most importantly, how to listen to that powerful inner voice. Here's a question for you. What is your soul trying to tell you right now? Take a moment to reflect. If this message resonated with you, subscribe to the Raising Frequencies channel. Share it with someone who needs to hear this. After all, the spiritual journey is so much better when we walk it together. Gratitude for being here. See you next time.